So just, bear with me, okay? Feel like, oh, I'm being replaced. Prepare yourselves for life postpartum. Theo, I can't take it. Both of them are crying. I don't know what to do. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Yazel, and on our channel we like to talk about everything between lifestyle, motherhood, faith, and marriage. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe and join our family. If you are returning, welcome back. Hey, it's good to see you guys again. Very huge disclaimer, I am sick, still recovering. I did lose my voice for like 2 to 3 days, and I'm just now getting it back. So just a disclaimer, I wanted to throw that out there. So just, bear with me, okay? Within the last week, I have had multiple moms reach out to me that I know in my personal life, as well as over on Instagram, who have asked me about advice regarding to having children so close together and transitioning to 2 children, and also the life of 2 under 2 and what we did, what advice I could give them. They're struggling and things like that. So I really feel like this is a season that a lot of people go through, and a lot of people don't talk about it in a positive way. If they do talk about it, they don't really give a lot of advice on how they did it, how they managed to get through it, because it is a very short season that is a struggle. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to gauge it, you can go through so many different things that can already affect you mentally. So if you don't have a plan going into it, or you're not prepared on how life may look post-delivery, bringing your baby home to meet your older child or older children, I want to talk about specifically my experience with bringing our son home to meet our daughter and how I navigated through that. And I really wish my husband was here. His perspective is a little different from the father, the husband. It's a little different, and I think it's really important that people also understand that fathers go through it. But just for the sake of today's video, we're just gonna talk about motherhood, since I can't touch on his side of his perspective. But just to give you a little bit of backstory, if you guys are new here, we have not given a full labor and delivery story time with our son, but that video is soon to come. So I did have a successful VBAC with our son, and if you guys are unfamiliar with that term, it's a vaginal birth after C-section. With our daughter, we had a very traumatic birthing experience which led to a C-section. But just for the sake of the story, we're just going to talk about transitioning. But that is very important for today's story time. It was really important for me to have a successful VBAC. Reasons being, with my C-section, I was very immobile. I wasn't able to really do a lot of things. It's a surgery. It's a major surgery that happens in your abdomen. So just me having the VBAC was just one thing that I was just like, oh, this is just gonna make everything go so much smoother, because the most important thing happened, and that was like really important for me. When she first seen me, she just kind of like ran over to me. She really didn't care that I had a baby in my hand. That was her first time being around a baby, like outside of daycare. So she was just like, who is this baby? Why is my mommy holding her? Like, she wanted me to like pick her up immediately. The boppy that he was laying on, I put it just like right next to us, and I just sat like kind of her in between me and Theo. Well, no, actually, I sat the baby in between me and Theo, and then I sat Isabella on my lap. I couldn't really pick her up because she was like really heavy, and of course, like, I still just had a baby. So she really didn't care, and I was just like, hey, Bella, this is your brother. So I made sure that when I was doing research on how I was going to do this transition, I was listening to other parents, and the first thing that I heard parents say was to always put your baby down. Don't have your child meet their sibling with their sibling in your hands, because it kind of takes away from them wanting to see you. So put them down, greet them first, and then let them warm up to their new sibling, and just explain to them, like, we always called Junior baby when he was in my belly, because she was a little younger. She couldn't really understand Theo at the time. She was only, when I got pregnant, she just turned 1 year old. So we just referred to my belly as baby. And when he got here, we put baby brother together. We was like, Bella, this is baby brother. And we always asked her, like, do you want to hold him? Do you want to give him a kiss? Do you want to say hi? Do you want to see him? And we always made her feel included. We made sure to ask. It's kind of like asking her permission if she wanted to be involved. So it sounds crazy, like, oh, what do you mean you asked for her permission? they're still babies and they still have feelings. So we didn't want her to do anything that she didn't want to do. Transitioning her to a big girl bed. As parents, you feel like you need to do any and everything to make sure that your older children feel special before the new baby comes. But there's just like certain things that children need to be consistent in order for them to be reassured. Giving her a big girl bed, we discussed it, and we actually like asked our pediatrician like what did they recommend, and they gave us one or two options. They said it could either be successful or she could regress, and it can make her either feel like, oh, I'm special, or it can make her feel like, oh, I'm being replaced. And we didn't want her to feel that way. So we didn't want to do anything that disrupted her nighttime routine too much. Now, we did notice that after the baby came home that she did started regressing. She started waking up like around midnight, 1 o'clock almost every night on a consistent basis. And that's very normal for your older children, especially when they're that young, to go through a regression stage once a new sibling is in the picture. Another piece of advice that I want to give moms is to prepare yourselves for life postpartum. And what I mean by postpartum is freshly postpartum, when you just come home within the first 1 to 2 weeks where you're exhausted, you're still trying to figure out the baby, you're still trying to keep up with your 1-year-old, 2-year-old, however old your first child is or your other children are. Find different ways to play with your child in a stationary position, whether that is while you're currently breastfeeding or bottle feeding your baby, or while you're just sitting there giving skin to skin with your newborn, whether that is through flashcards, reading books, painting, coloring books, things that they have not been introduced to before the baby, so it's kind of like new and fresh and it keeps them engaged. Once I was physically comfortable with holding both of them at the same time, I found ways to read to both of them. I would have her read words. She really wouldn't read words, but I would just follow her lead. If she wanted to hold the book, I would let her hold the book. She would flip through the page. One thing that I did learn firsthand was to also spend individual quality time, and that's from both sets of parents. And what I mean by that is, as the mom, put the baby down, take your older children outside for 20-30 minutes, take them to get ice cream, go to a different part of the house where it's just you and that child. And I know when you have more children than 2, it might become a little bit more difficult, but just for the sake of my experience from transitioning from 1 to 2, you have to make sure that your child still feels the individual quality time that you used to give them. And then same thing with the dad. Have the dad take them. I know it's easier for the dad to leave with the child, take them on ice cream date, take them to go for lunch, things like that. It is very important that each parent spends individual time with each child individually without other children being present. Something else that really helped is to get your older children involved in everyday activity outside of the baby. And what I mean by that, I mean by cooking and cleaning. Those 2 important things that you do every single day, your children watch exactly what you're doing. So invite them to come and cook with you. During that time, it's one-on-one quality time while other people are around, but they still feel special because they feel like, oh, I can go help mommy. So just keep that in mind. Also, even like with cleaning up, just invite them like, hey, mommy's gonna clean up your toys. Can you help mommy clean up your toys? And give them a specific toy to clean up. Say, hey, mommy's gonna clean up this toy. Can you go and clean up the blocks? Something else that helped me was baby wearing. When our son was kind of out of the fresh newborn stage and he was getting to like the 3-month, 4 months, and they go through a lot of different regressions and body changes and the clingy stage and always want to be held, baby wearing saved my life. With Junior, I wore him almost every single day. No exaggeration. Like, I literally was like, yeah, no, I can't be glued to the couch. I would put the baby wrap on, put him right inside, and he would be so calm. He would be so quiet. It gives that baby the ability to feel like they're back in the womb with the wrap being so snug and them being so close to you. They feel like they're in the womb. And by baby wearing your newborn, you're still able to play with your older children, cook with your older children, clean, go on walks, go outside. We struggled a lot with the transition with, oh, she would constantly say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And as parents, it is our job to figure out the best way to navigate this from both the parent aspect, the new baby who doesn't understand what's going on, and the older sibling who's kind of like being territorial and it's kind of like, why are you just giving my things away? We brought out the high chair to introduce him to the high chair. Isabella had like a little regression, and she wanted the high chair. She wanted to sit in the high chair, and we struggled. I'm just like, why do you want this? Like, you haven't even used it in months. She never wanted to eat in her high chair. So I was just like, I was so confused. But children do know, it doesn't matter how young they are, that certain things belong to them first. I recommend that you don't force transitions on your older children, and if they have a regression, just let them have exactly what they're asking for. It's a short transition and it happens for a short process, but it could be really detrimental to the older child if you're just like, no, this is your brother's, no, this is your sister's, no, you can't have this, it's not yours anymore. So I really encourage you, if it's something that your child wants during the transition of passing it down to the younger sibling, just let them have it for a little bit. Eventually they will outgrow it again, and eventually you'll be able to use it for the next baby. This piece of advice is really important, and I need parents to hear me clearly. Be patient. Have patience for yourself. Give yourself grace. Give your husband grace. Be patient with your husband. Be patient with your older children. I cannot say this enough. I cannot encourage this enough. I cannot repeat it enough. I really feel like I'm a broken record when it comes to like talking to moms out there who are struggling with the transition of 1 to 2 or more. It is really important that you're patient with every single body, especially yourself. Give yourself grace, okay? We struggled a lot with Isabella crying when Junior cried. And when I mean like, she cried because she didn't like to hear him cry. So she would just cry. And honestly, it drove me insane. And I'm just like I don't understand. Like, you were just fine. You were just watching TV and now you're crying because the baby's crying. My mind almost literally just exploded. But I had to constantly remind myself, Isabella's not used to hearing crying, you know? So it's just kind of like, this is new for her. This is new for me. So that's another tip I want to give to parents. Please be patient. Please don't explode. I know it's easier said than done. I've been there. Trust me, I've had lots of days, lots of hours where I'm just like, Theo, I can't take it. Both of them are crying. I don't know what to do. But be patient. Be very patient with yourself during the process. And it is okay to take deep breaths. It is okay to go on a walk for like 5 minutes. It is okay to leave the room for a little bit. Say, hey, I need you to step in really quickly. Just hold him. Can I just go use the bathroom without any children being involved? And literally, like, just those little things help you take a deep breath, help you relax. Stay as calm as possible, patient as possible. Relax as much as possible during this process, because it is a very trying process, but it is so rewarding to see everything flow so naturally, so easily. And that happens with practice. That happens with repetition. So just keep doing it, keep being patient, keep encouraging and helping your older children to relax during the process of cries and meltdowns of the newborn, and even like vice versa. Junior never really cried when Isabella cried, but you know, sometimes he would get startled by her, you know, throwing tantrums. And during the tantrums, because it's gonna be a lot of them, remain calm, don't explode. Still show your older children the same love and mercy that God shows you, and I promise you, your child will stop. It's gonna take time and time and time again and practice, but don't give up. Don't just start exploding, because that's not gonna do anything. But just tell your older children, oh, I can act this way because mommy's acting this way. Honestly, I'm talking to myself. You need to love your children how God shows you love, and I promise you, they're gonna replicate that same love back to you, that same love back to their sibling. My favorite part is the sibling bond. I think that's the first thing, most important thing that I look forward to during the process of, you know, being pregnant. And I'm just imagining, oh, what is their bond going to be like? The way I encourage their bond, because at first Isabella wanted no parts. So the way I encourage their bond to form, like I said in the beginning of the video, constant asking your older child if they want to be involved and respecting that. When they feel like you respect them, they feel like it's the baby respecting them. And honestly, asking them, hey, mommy's gonna read a book. The baby's gonna do tummy time. Do you wanna lay right here so mommy can read the book while Junior does tummy time? And she would lay there, she would give him toys. I would show her, hey, this is Junior's toy. Let's go ahead and show him how to do it. Could you press the button? Because of course, obviously he can't press the button. We're trying to encourage him to press the button. But instead of mommy pressing the button, Isabella pressed the button. And it's just those little things. She would constantly try to help him. And I would ask her, Isabella, can you show him orange? If I can find it, I'll show y'all. Okay, this specific toy was Isabella's. And she had it when she was a baby. He sees it, so now he's on his way. So I would lay this in front of him, and she would press the button, and I would ask her like, hey, could you press blue? Could you show Theo blue? So I would ask her to press those buttons. It's important for your baby to have tummy time. So that was literally the main way that I was able to encourage Isabella to play with him. And during that time, I would ask her, hey, can you give him a kiss? Do you want to give him a kiss? Can you give him a hug? Now Isabella's in a phase where she wants to pick Junior up and hold him and carry him. She's like, Theo, come here, let me pick you up. It is so cute. So guys, I could really honestly go on and on. If you like this video, please let me know what was your favorite part of the video. If you are a mom who transitioned from 1 to 2, please comment down below any advice that you can give to other expecting moms who are going through this, or moms who are freshly parents of 2, who are going through a season where they're struggling or it's hard for them. Could you leave some encouraging words from them down below? If there's something that you guys did to prepare your family for the transition of 1 to 2 that I did not mention, please leave them down below. It is always helpful. It could be helpful for me because even though he's almost 1, it's still some things that I could probably apply now that could be helpful for us during the season. So please comment down below. I would love to hear your stories. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends, especially for those who are going through the transition of expecting another baby or who have recently had another baby. Make sure you comment down below your favorite part of the video, and also subscribe to our family so you can see all of the amazing new content that we have coming for you. Until next time, see you guys.